we should be able to get started here in 30 seconds. I'm just going to try to here display. Okay, good. Just share the general desktop. And, should be good to go. Because I do want to go to a website after a while. But so what I've got custom made now for each project. Well, first of all, I'll inform Nina can see this. My latest management strategy is the affirmation ball, which is like the 8-ball, except it's a yellow smiley face, and they're all positive things. So we'll just start off by saying, "You're good enough," is what it's telling us.
You know what I have for affirmation?
I like that better.
That's with a friend who came from Switzerland, and I have chocolate.
Lindt chocolate. Well, I like that.
That's a pretty good affirmation too. So mine said, this one said, "You're good enough."
Yeah, it's good enough. Or let me do it again.
By golly, people like me.
Yeah. You're 100% fun. On that affirmative note, the idea is that Leanne has been working diligently on data management plans, and now CSU has brought Stacy Lynn to help us work diligently on project management, and probably the most, the person who shirked responsibilities most is me to inform the funded PIs that these actual rules are in place and we should live into them. But in some ways, in my defense, I would say, like, all the projects are moving along well, we are staying in touch, but, and I did want to have a little better grasp, and having Stacy has helped and kind of understanding things, exactly how these systems work before we started sort of pushing them at you. We've done some testing, and we've been doing this for like 6 months and kind of getting Confluence set up. We've worked quite a bit with Andy Hansen because he's got a foot in both camps in our foundational science areas and his management-focused project on Whitebark Pine. And he finally brought on a postdoc, did a little challenge in hiring, finally got that person brought on, and it was delayed till that postdoc could be the one to help them do all that. Anyway, that's the excuse to sort of why it's come along, or why it's taken a bit, because now you guys are into just about to start your second year, and so, but I think we're fine as far as timing, and now it sort of seems to make a little more sense to me than it did even a month ago. So working through it, Andy, has been helpful, and we kind of created this cheat sheet, which looks fairly complicated. So let me just sort of call out, it's separated into the names at the bottom there, Leanne, her contact, and Stacy, her contact. And the 3 main boxes to think with the red titles are pre-project or sort of initial, and these are initial and official files, and then active project management, which is sort of as the projects go on for the 1 to 3 years, and then putting data into long-term archive. And I'll send you guys a copy of this slide. And I've actually made this specific to your project. We've got a generic template for this, but now these links are actually connected to your stuff. So the workflow is sort of like this: is the proposal, you submitted that was in the RFP manager, but know that title and those names do get propagated into USGS's project management database. So, but that's done. You had a pre-proposal data management plan, and that kind of exists. You don't have to redo that, but it does need to have some more detail, and that's where Leanne comes in to sort of get the final check off on that data management plan. Looks good. You'll have, this is the link to it, and we'll go to both of these links here. But presuming that can happen, you work with Leanne, she sort of signs off on it. What we do then is take the data management plan, as well as other things related to the project, and create a Confluence, which is kind of this wiki. You guys have a wiki, you have your own, but we've kind of generated a specific CSC project management. So they could be linked, but we did kind of create one for each funded project in CSC. And this would be limited to the project team members and the North Central staff. The national office is looking for quarterly reports, and I think the temporal frequency of those is pretty daunting. And whenever you get into doing reports quarterly, you're finding and replacing maybe in June and making it November, and everything else stays the same. So what our strategy is, and the national office seems to think this is sufficient or fine for us to do, is to just kind of send an email to the PI or group, the management team. Make sure your Confluence page is up to date. The data management plan is up to date. You'll see what it contains. Your student, employee, your people under 25 that we need to kind of currently report on, and just various things. As long as your Confluence page is up to date and you can kind of say, yes, it's up to date, we're going to say the quarterly report is done with that check-in. So hopefully that sort of is an incentive and makes it a little bit easier for you guys. You don't have to actually write a report. There are templates and detailed file formats that the National Office wants for annual and final reports. And you guys have done your annual report. It's been done from last, about this time last month.
I think it's April, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have walked through that and it'll be a final report. What we also do is take the output, or once the finalized data management plan is, we will, we meaning the North Central Climate Science Center, will kind of by hand, we don't have an automatic way to do this, but kind of cut and paste from that data management plan, put it into Confluence, so that you'll see, and you can kind of do, well, temporarily here, or notes related to it, and kind of like just sort of a living document, living table related to your data management plan. And then we will work kind of in a long-term archive. This is where ScienceBase comes in, is just to say, okay, we brought this data set in, it was input, it's stable, you can put it in ScienceBase, or at least create the metadata in ScienceBase. One of the things we want to, or need to allow for, is, for example, MTS is on this project, climate data. If there's fractions of terabytes or pretty big files, that doesn't have to go into ScienceBase, but we do need the metadata or a record in ScienceBase to say we have, we pulled from NCAR or CU Boulder or Western Water or whatever climate data set, we've grabbed it, here's where it is, and this is the date we pulled it and what we used it. And so it's really kind of repeatability, and I think that, as far as like terabytes of data, we don't need to freeze it and keep a copy. There's going to be, okay, that was the data that was derived from, and maybe version 6 comes out in a year. But I think the metadata for those larger data sets are fine. As Leanne has called out, that there needs to be, it needs to be in a federal system. So there is a requirement.
Hey, Jeff, can I ask a question? On the climate data from MTS, I'm wondering what that really means. I mean, we have, obviously we've got several printouts or outputs, including PowerPoints that says this is what he used, this is how he used it, and then the output's what it looks like in terms of seasonal temperature, seasonal precipitation. But, so will that make more, does MTS know exactly what is needed? Are you looking for the models that he used and all the information associated with those models? Because he used 3 different climate models.
Well, I think those are all good questions, but I would go to the data management plan to see, because I think that would be, and so that's what I'm trying to do here.
Okay.
Because, the project as well as the archive should know kind of what you and your follow project folks should know what data was used, and then the project itself should have it. So this is the data management plan. So I'm going now, following this link that has a cheat sheet, going to the data management plan here, which I think TMP List and Leanne you can see I didn't do much editing of data management plans. None of that stuff.
But I know that there's work to be done on these. I don't know if we'll talk about that today, but.
Okay, so there's I think, and that's perfectly fine, and that's what Leanne is here to help with. She does a great job kind of making sure that, someone from the outside would understand what you're talking about. So, I guess this is the edit button. I don't know if anybody caught that. I can repeat it. You go into your data management plan. Again, we just sort of do this slowly because sometimes the WebEx is delayed a little bit. But on this cheat sheet, it gives the URL. You can always ask Leanne or myself, what's the URL for our data management plan? It's also linked on the Confluence page. We're kind of making Confluence like the only place you really need to know. But for the sake of that workflow, I'm starting with the DMP here. and that once you get into that link, you see at the bottom an ability to edit the work. And so I would say, this is, and there's general kind of 4 categories: input that's existing, and this is the climate data that MTS would probably inform this data management plan about. There's input for new collections. I mean, when I was at NASA, we called these like intermediate products. It's sort of like you need it for your model, but you're not going to output it. But so like MTS makes some derived variable, or ecological models. Maybe it's not it's not a final output that you're creating, but it's not existing, so you're making it, but it's kind of temporary. But that's I think input new collection, and then your output, and that's kind of what you have listed here, and software. And those are the 4 main categories: input, existing, input new, final output or output, and then software. And those are here.
Hey, Jeff, can I interject? This is Leanne. So because this is an older project, you guys are using the older data management plan template, which is fine. I know when we moved over to the new data management plan template, it addresses running models a little bit easier. So we do have actually an additional, we expanded the data management template to address models, so we have an additional record type within the plan, so you can go ahead and identify your model, and then you list all your inputs to your model, and then you'll list out all your outputs. Now, if your outputs of your model run are considered data products, I'll definitely want them added as a data output in your data management plan. And if you're using an existing model, that's fine. If you're creating a new model as part of your project, I would consider that as a data product separately as well, because your model code would be a data product as well.
So would you recommend that they is there any way to kind of update this to the new data management plan editor, or is that kind of starting from scratch?
Yeah, that's kind of starting from scratch. So the ship kind of sailed on that. So we moved over middle of this year. But let me play around with the tool to see if I can get a couple of records added for models. If you're doing a bunch of model runs, that might be helpful. I might be able to, because I'm an admin on the tool, I might be able to add a couple of additional records to your DMP, pulling in from the newer template.
Okay. What I'd like to do is kind of move on to Confluence and kind of the rest of this thing, and we can revisit some of the details with the data management plan. Now, going to the Confluence site, then, once the kind of data management plan is finalized and Leanne signs off on that, then we go to the Confluence site, and it will look somewhat different than this for you as far as because access will limit or kind of modify what you can see here, but you should be able to see. So we've got staff workspace. That's just sort of more internal and funded projects, and we have the management focus projects, of which this is, and it's 2013, and so it's this project here. You also have your own wiki that you guys made, like that. And again, this is the link that's given on the cheat sheet. What we've and so like all of these funded projects will now have the same look to them, and project managers and coordinators, and these are just that we kind of pulled off of the proposal and just kind of subsequent communications, trying to kind of have a task list of important events. So this is the PIs, should probably be PIs in this case. Review the DMP and revise as necessary. That's kind of the top one. And then as you see, as I mentioned, that we will then fill that information into the Confluence page. And so the proposal document is going to be listed here. this is something, as USGSers will know, we're asked kind of quarterly data calls because of the Secretary's initiative to bring in youth. It's like how many people under 25 or young people, and so we're trying to just have a table here that can be updated, and you can kind of check off when they've been in the project. And this is where reporting comes in. The templates are listed here for the annual report and the final report, so that you don't have to keep your own copy. You can have a template file. This is where you will be able to upload reports, and we've got to upload a document kind of clearly defined here, but it's fairly easy and easy enough that I can just kind of do this probably in real time. It's like this is my, and then you kind of do this, and then you link it to a file attachment. Choose your file from your system. It would go there, and then it would be there. So it's really pretty straightforward. You know, it's kind of, I'll cancel that save so it doesn't do anything. And so we just ask that, this is what, instead of tracking an email of where's your report and when you submitted it, you could put it here. And you could even sort of say, Renee, this is Nina, I put it here, and you just kind of call it, temporary for Renee to read, and she would see it here, and then, we would know that it's kind of making progress. We kind of hope that these could be kind of working for everyone, that, you could kind of come in and do that, or everybody could see that. The DMP deliverables is the section of the Confluence places we were saying. Once it's finalized by Leanne, then Stacy will work on kind of adding it here. And then you can kind of keep the notes or kind of a link to where you got it, and kind of this would be maybe more of a living document for it. And the middle ground before it gets put into Sciencebase. I think Sciencebase is like, once it's there, you've created that record and metadata. You don't want to be like, oh, wait, I changed it. And this is a little bit more like you could do temporary stuff here. And then publications or other conference proceedings, whatnot, go here in this other project.
Is that where, we're starting to generate quite a few PowerPoint presentations and some handouts to go with workshops. Is that where that stuff would go?
That would be a good place to put it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that was one of my questions. So what levels, I'm looking at sort of the lists of things there. Workshop, training, meeting, conference, agenda. So, there have been some workshops and meetings in both parts of the, in the San Juan area and the Denison with stakeholders. There have been focus groups. I mean, at what level of, how many of those things do you want on here? How much do you want?
Right. The only thing I kind of need or want, personally, or from the CSC kind of project management, is the data management plan, the reports, the annual and closeout reports, kind of what's in here, and the list of students, and the contacts for the group, and then probably final publications, peer review publications. But I also want to use this site as you want it to. So I don't want to restrict it. So if putting up PowerPoints from the workshop, kind of results, minutes, whatever, agenda from the workshop. There's a calendar event that I think you can kind of do some. I haven't done much with the calendar, but you might be able to kind of have an event that would list some things associated with it, or a subpage.
Yeah.
Or kind of in these other projects. And another thing you could do, it's just, you can go up to the very top. That's one thing maybe worth pointing out. You can edit any particular section where it says that you can edit the whole page. And so feel free to, I'd ask you not to delete anything we've got in here, but if you want to add, anything, I think you have access to edit it.
Yeah, I think.
You can kind of just, it's really not that difficult to kind of just come here and, it's kind of adding one.
Okay, because I would think that for quarterly reports, it would be helpful to have some record of presentations, workshops, all that, even if it isn't any kind of a final publishable product, just because then you can have some of that information for the quarterly report.
Right. Yeah, it's I guess you could certainly fall into other products and that's why it's kind of pretty general.
Yeah.
But you could, you know, if there's something that you guys are doing, and I mean, there is stuff that your project is doing maybe that's more specific than we'd see in other projects. You know, your integrated kind of your management solicited, or you know, you kind of went to the managers and tried to find out what they wanted, and now you're doing the interviews, or so those. Feel free to just add it here like this, and sort of interview kind of results or something like that. So that would be open for you.
A couple of other nice things about the Confluence space is you can actually subscribe to that calendar, so then it can show up on your Google Calendar as well. The events on there, you can display that or incorporate it into your own Google Calendar. And then another nice thing is you can watch that page. So if there's been any changes, you can subscribe to the page. And so if Stacy or I or somebody else is out there editing your page, you can receive a notification to alert you of that.
Okay.
So that was just this arrow button down at the bottom of the calendar.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Got it.
I didn't know that. Handy. Thanks, Liam.
And so I don't know if I don't think it's too off topic. So we had that other page that we started, some time ago. Does it make sense to look at that page, see if there's anything we want to bring into this page, and then get rid of it? I mean, I don't see the point of having two separate pages, do you?
No, I don't see it, but I don't want to make you do that. If there's, I'm not sure how active this is, and I'm not going to it either. But here we go. So this is, you've kind of added, you had a calendar, quite a few documents.
Yeah, but not very organized, not very well organized.
Yeah, you did have these things.
Yeah, materials, the workshop presentations. I mean, it might. Okay. So, I mean, I think it would make sense to look at that, see what we want to bring over to the page we were just looking at, and then get rid of it.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't seem, I don't see any utility in having two of those pages. It's hard enough to keep up with one.
Right, and I mean, I guess it's thanks to you guys for like pointing out Confluence and seeing the utility, and so, but the downside is you guys now have two, and we got to work with you, and I'm happy to do that. Cause, I mean, one of the easy things to do is just kind of put it under here. Old page, I could do that in a matter of minutes. All the permissions seem to change.
Don't they though? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like funny.
Yeah, we've had that.
So I think that you do have this kind of thing, and restrict viewing, restrict editing. I think that, so it looks like you guys actually, you should be able to edit. That's your group. But if you ever kind of can't edit something, or you don't see it anymore, logged in last time and it was there, and you don't bang your head against the wall too much. Write to me and Stacy and Leanne, all three. We don't mind getting kind of duplicated. The first one to see it will answer and say, oh, somebody changed the permissions. Or sometimes you go in and you add something and it sort of somehow propagated through unknowingly to you. So, we're all kind of going up a learning curve a little bit on this. But
okay. So this maybe isn't the very first thing to try to do, but it's just
it certainly would probably be, I think, I agree it's a good idea just to fold it into one page and just kind of have that. And so, kind of here it looks like it's quite different. There's no editing restrictions. Viewing restrictions are, so I don't know why that Southeast group is not here. This is where I need to.
We need to.
Yeah, where I can do this pretty readily. It's just going to give me a quick call. You should be able to see it now. So in that, I'll apologize in advance. There's a learning curve. We're all climbing it. But I really hope that by the time we get, like these quarterly, if we're asked to do quarterly reports, and especially with the team this big, just kind of going, please, Renee, add that new person to the table, and, we're all kind of literally on the same page, and it might, hopefully it's going to make our life easier to climb the Science Center, especially if we get 3 to 5 more new projects in, but I hope it's not too onerous for you guys. So that's kind of all I had. It really was kind of an overview, and then I think what we'll do is the final products go into ScienceBase, and Leanne helps with that, and we'll kind of, as long as the database or the data management plan, and then the metadata looking good, it's sort of fairly easy to go ahead and put them into the science-based or other federal systems. Is there anything you want to add?
I have something to add. This is Leanne again. So another thing, if we're going to use this space as a replacement for the quarterly reports, what would help me is especially not only the data products will go into ScienceBase, but if you guys update the section about especially the other project products, so if you have any pubs, even if they're in draft or in review and stuff like that, and let us know the status of where they are. And then when they become published, I'll see that, and then I can make sure that I add a citation to the publication in your science in ScienceBase. So then it updates your NCC WSC project page as well. So not only will, when you go out to the NCWIS site, you'll see basically a summary of your project, but then as you close out your projects, you'll see all of your publications out there, as well as your data products that you generate. So hopefully it just is one place for everybody to go to find out more information about your projects. And if there's any other, let's say you do a webinar or something like that, I can always add a citation record in ScienceBase so it reflects on your project page.
Okay.
So by you adding that information there, it lets me know, and then I can get it added to ScienceBase.
Okay.
And I hope, again, the hope is that kind of doing these as the product comes out doesn't leave you at the end of the project going, 10 publications, we got to put them all in the ScienceBase, and who wrote that? So hopefully, just quarterly, just check in with this page. We stay up to date on it, and it'll make it easier to do the annual reports and the close.
So, hey Nina, I'm just wondering, since we are trying to have an in-person PI meeting in January, if it might be worth us setting aside at least 1 hour to both go through this and ideally just start updating it as a group.
Can't resist.
I think that's a really good idea, Renee, because I think for everybody to sort of see where we are, and I think if we have any questions about a certain sort of interim product or less formal product, whether we should include it, we can sort of err in the side of including it, and then if we're putting stuff up that isn't, we can pare back later, but it's probably better to, get to populate this. And then I know with the data management, there's outstanding things. Leanne, we wanted to talk about that on this call, I guess, right?
Well, and you're really close, Nina. I mean, not too many major issues with the data management plan. We just need to go in and fill out some. Let me bring up my email here.
I do see one that says we need the vulnerability assessment. That's just been recently finalized about 4 weeks ago. So that's just a PDF. I can easily either put it in myself or just send it to somebody. I can easily email it.
Okay. Let's see. I think it was. I think my questions were, you answered the questions about the institutional analysis, and then I had a question about the location-specific analysis. There was a lot of TBDs, and just keep in mind that the data management plan is a working document, so things that can change throughout the project life cycle, and I get that. But if you can go in and have I can't say the name.
Imtiaz?
Imtiaz. I think she's the one that's heading up that one. If she can go in and revisit that and fill out what she at least knows, that will be great. And then the climate scenarios, I assume that's probably an output from the model, from some of your model runs.
Yep.
And those are blank, so we'll need to go ahead and fill that information in. And I think your institutional analysis report, that sounded to me like it was just a report. And so reports and pubs and manuscripts don't necessarily have to go into the data management plan. For me, that's information that Stacy's. I'm interested in it, but I'm more concerned with the actual data and archiving your data products to make sure we have that accessible and have it archived for long-term storage. So, so we're really close. I really would like to get that, approved in an approved state here, and I don't know if we could get that, if that would be feasible for you guys to knock out before we head out for the holidays.
Yeah. We want to do that, right?
Yeah, we want to do that. So,
but let me just, before I forget, Leanne, I think Nina's not listed here, so we should make sure she can edit.
Nina? She's up at the top.
And then it's an also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so, Leanne, so some of this, I think, is information you need to get from MTS. And I think that we sent him an email, back a couple of months ago when you and I talked.
Right.
Is it best for people to get in touch with you if they have questions about specific things that you need? I mean, sometimes me being a go-between isn't the most efficient thing.
Yeah, I totally get. Yeah, they can ping me directly.
Okay.
Yep.
I wonder, Leanne, so I'm kind of, you can tell because I didn't know your name was up there, that I don't use this a lot. Like could we do something like edit this to be kind of, let me see if this happens the way I'm hoping it would, and then you update. And so now, when Nina or MTS.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
And just kind of say, or, blank, or, I don't know, maybe just done. And then once they're done, and, we go, okay, then that would help all of us. We look at the data management plan, done. Okay, none of them are open. We're good. And
yep,
so
that's a great idea, Jeff. I like that.
Good. So
we can go ahead and do that.
It's a great idea.
That seems, I don't know if you can color code them, but that would seem to be easy enough, and we'll just kind of call it that. And then that way, they start loading them in even as they're done. Right. So she would know to put this, go ahead and put that one. And I assume that's done, but maybe I shouldn't. Can is that indeed done? Looks like it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's done, but I don't know that it's in there. Looks like it is.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that will. Yeah, that would be helpful. Maybe then we'll know what anybody can sign in.
Yeah, and I think Leanne sort of flagged the ones. She sent me an email and sort of flagged the ones that still need some attention. So
right. I'll
go back and look at that email when I get back to the office and nudge people that need to be nudged and do what I can do and that kind of thing.
Or perhaps maybe I can put the owner's name in the title too, so then that helps them too.
That's a
good idea.
That's a great idea.
I mean, one of the things we kind of objective between Confluence and Data Management Plan is actually reducing email, especially like detailed email.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like MTS, check the Data Management Plan.
Yeah.
As opposed to MTS, do X, Y, and Z, because then Stacy doesn't see it, and maybe Renee didn't see it. And so the more we can kind of put in these web systems between the Data Management Plan and the Confluence, and then we all check there, and maybe, I updated Confluence.
Yeah.
As opposed to, here's the attachment to the PowerPoint file or here's the interview questions, or, kind of like, they don't, I think it's kind of like, email is good to let somebody know something's new, but that we rely on this as opposed to an email archive for information.
Yeah. I think one issue that we've had with Confluence generally is that if you're not a USGS person, you need to be invited separate, differently, and you get a password. And if you don't log in with your password, then it expires. And so I've had some people who've needed their password 3 and 4 times because they haven't logged in, because maybe they didn't really have any reason to. And so that's sort of a hurdle, I think. I don't know how you feel about it, Renee, but that seems that's a little bit of a hurdle for people because they sort of forget how to log in and they go back like, oh, I don't have it, and then I have to ask Nina, and then Nina's got to ask somebody, then they've got to tell Nina, and then
it's definitely a hurdle.
Yeah, that's definitely a hurdle.
Yeah, I think Joe and Andy both came across that. And Leanne, do you remember if we came up with any ways to remedy that situation?
So you should receive an email notification from MyUSGS that your password is expiring. It's a DOI mandate. Even, with your Active Directory password, you have to reset your password every 90 days. There's no way I can extend people's passwords to a year, and so they should receive an email notification saying their password is soon expiring. But that's all mandated by DOI, and you have to reset your password every 90 days.
Okay. Yeah.
There's like gentle ways to do that where you go to a website and they say like your password is expired, you'll get one time to enter your old one, and you'll be forced to redo it.
Right.
As opposed to logging in and your password no longer works and you don't know why. I don't know how it works.
And they're doing some work on Confluence to address better ways to invite people because I tell you, it's a pain because I remember we're setting all this up. We have to first get them a MyUSGS account, and then they have to log into Confluence. So then Jeff and so Confluence can recognize that user. Then once they are added to Confluence, then Jeff and I or Stacy have to go in and give you permission to the space. So that's definitely something that we are really working on at Fort to improve that process. And I do like the idea of, I know on like when I do my time card keeping or it's not very noticeable for me, but when my AD password got ready to expire, it does bring up a very subtle little message on the lower right-hand corner of my screen saying, this password's about ready to expire. But sometimes I don't always see that because it's so subtle. But I do like the idea of receiving a warning that your password's going to expire within, 10 days. But yeah, there's no way around not resetting your password.
Yeah, and I think it's easy enough for USGS people because we're resetting it anyway. As you say, it's the same password that we use for other access. I think it's the non-USGS people who might sporadically want to log in, and then every time they want to do it, they don't have a password anymore. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I can't invite people, and I can't invite non-USGS people. I can only invite USGS people.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I think my password is out of date.
Oh. And this is Renee?
Yes.
Set up.
Yeah, I hope that we, especially going to like quarterly reporting and maybe more active use of it, gets people go, oh, okay, just write Jeff, Leanne, and Stacy, reset my password or help, instead of getting frustrated by it. I mean, it's not a clean system, but it seems like I think we'll, when people use it more often, maybe that wouldn't be like so frustrating.
Okay, Renee, yours is going to expire on December 28th. Do you want me to reset it right now?
Oh, my gosh, that'd be great.
Okay. Okay, so you are good till the beginning of March, right before spring break.
Fantastic. Yay, you are good.
So you'll get an email from MyUSGS with a link to go change your password.
Perfect. I see it.
Is there any way to populate this table to say when passwords expire?
You can add another column in there.
I mean, but I don't want to look it up and add it as
I can look it up.
Can you auto-populate it?
No. I'd like to auto-populate, but no, I can't auto-populate it. So,
Hey, while you're in there, Jeff, Marcy Marcy's name needs an I on the end of her. That's M-A-R-C-I-E, her first name.
Yeah, it's right in the email.
There we go. There we go. Thanks.
And it's Bidwell good, and is that the right email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I have two of them.
I have two of them pop up when I send
Yeah.
mail, and I never
Yeah,
know.
the Port Louis one she doesn't use anymore.
Okay. That might be an interesting tool. I wonder if Confluence developers could figure that out. To harvest that information, have it auto-populated.
That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, it would be real nice.
I mean, make it turn red when it's like 14 days out.
Exactly.
And flash.
Or it would be probably easier to get a little notification when you log in. Your password's about ready to expire.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do, or it expired, you've got one time to enter with your old password. I mean, I can see resetting them, but that they don't give you that chance is screwy. Do you have a line with any of the developers, Leanne?
Well, so it's an Atlassian product. It's out of the box.
Right.
But we do, you know, Tim kind of hacks on it, and
But the login though is USGS, right? I mean, that's
yeah, and we work on we do the authentication stuff for it here at Fort. In fact, Haley, do you know Haley? She's the project manager for Confluence and my USGS home, which manages all the roles. And so she's working with the development team to improve the login process for Confluence.
Can you bring that up to her? Haley's
Yep.
great, really responsive, and seems to do she's got like a Midas touch, I think. Everything she does seems to be really well, it works well. So, yeah, if you could, that'd be appreciated.
Yep.
So I have a question, since this could become our primary Confluence site, if that's the right, I think I'm using the right terminology. Then for me, once I'll reset my password, but for me to get onto it, I will use which link? Is that the link that you showed earlier?
Well, I think, and I don't know if you're logged in, since your password doesn't expire, you could, and you could just go to, I think if you search, it'd be interesting to see what you find if you search North, can't read my own writing. Central Climate Science Center. It's kind of funny that there's other things out there. You know, it'd be interesting to see can you try it, Renee? We'll kind of.
Yeah, I'll try it right now and see what I get. So I will.
So the third thing on the list down there, is that the one we were just looking at, or is that my old one?
Which says the.
The recently updated. That's probably the one we were just looking at.
Yeah.
Just recently updated.
That's sort of my FY13 and Farlow, and that's my nomenclature on these guys.
So under I've got several, of course, that come up. The one that's I get to the DOI one.
Mind if I, do you want to go to your screen?
Yeah, you can go to my screen. Let me put it on that same screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
No, you do have to do a screen. You have to agree to share your screen. You've got the ball, but.
Let me see.
One of the tabs up at the top left of the meeting center window.
Participant assign privileges, change role. It's grayed out. Let me see. Let me try.
Quick start.
Okay, under quick start, share desktop. Is that the one I want to use?
Yeah, try that.
Okay. I'll see if I got the right monitor. Okay. I bet you can see some monitor. The question is which one. I've got two up. Let me put it over here.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
Can you see it?
Let me just, I'm kind of stomping on it here, but we see your desktop, and it looks like a,
Okay.
I don't know, Irish countryside or.
Okay. Let me move over. Let me try this. Okay.
And now we see that, okay.
Okay. It's U.S. Department of the Interior. Do you see that one?
We do.
And try going to the thing I just put in the chat window.
Okay. Alrighty. There it goes. Okay. Welcome to my USGS. Okay.
And now you should
So
be able
you'll need to log in before you can see the Jeff.
Okay. Let me log in. I gotta go find my.
Don't show us your
Don't
password.
show us your passwords.
We're recording.
No. All you can see are my 5.3 accounts. Okay.
Oh, I think I will. It's really good.
Yeah, I think I got even 4 bars.
And it's really quality. Not to make the people on the phone jealous. These are really good chocolate.
Glad you guys aren't here. Got 4 bars of chocolate sitting on the table.
Ooh, I'm coming to your desk. When are you coming back?
I'll be back after this call. Stopped by, a friend of mine gave me a lot of chocolate, so I'm happy to share.
Tis the season to consume many calories.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Might as well eat high quality calories.
And the days are shorter, so we get less exercise too.
Right.
Eat more and do less. I love the holidays.
Climb into the cave.
Bear with me. I almost got it. Okay. Let me see. Let me try this. All right. Oops. That's, Just do that again. Okay. Let's see if that works. Huh. Hate that. Let me try one more time.
Renee, people like you.
People, aw.
That was the affirmation ball. I thought maybe.
Good. Let me try one more time.
I'll throw the ball through the window.
Oh, okay. So, once again, who knows where the problem is, but it's not accepting the password I think I have.
Probably because I just reset your password. So if you open up your email, there'll be a temporary password in your email. Copy that and paste that into your password.
Try that. Okay. Good. I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah, I thought this was I'm doing one of these with Susan Scoggins project, and I think it's just, it's hand it up. Okay, now you try. It doesn't work. Especially with a non-USGS person. I mean, there's a lot of systems in USGS that go, oh, why would anybody not USGS want to see my calendar or share my Google Drive or?
Oh, I know. Well, we can't use systems.
Right. Or why would you want to? Why would you want to use a Google Drive that everyone could see? Whereas.
Right. I know.
For whatever reason, my computer is gagging over way too many things going on, I think.
That's always.
Let me see if I move this. Yeah, it apparently does not want to let me open my email at the same time that I am on. It could be that I've got a poor connection with the internet. Let me see if I put it on this one. Aha. Yeah. Just won't let me see it. Just thinking.
You can stop sharing if that's...
Yeah, let me try stop sharing for just a second.
I think you do the quick start up at the top there.
Stop sharing. Okay. I just said stop sharing. Who knows? See what happens? Okay. Oh my goodness. Aha. Okay. Let me try this again. Okay. Oh, interesting. When I do that, it gets rid of my email. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure this is going to work. Stop sharing again. Let me just copy it. All right. Aha. Looks like I am in. So let me share this with you just so you can see.
I'll take the small victories. We'll be happy with that.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
So now you can search for,
Should be upper right. You could just do North Central. See what shows up. I can't. So.
This one?
Yeah.
yeah.
That'd be great to see what you see.
You can always add a bookmark
Okay.
within the tool, too.
Great.
You
Oh,
click
right
on
here.
that add, yeah.
Yep.
And then,
That page.
no, it's not under the,
But
it might be under browse.
Wait, I think it's under tools.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
something
tools.
there.
Oh, is it under tools?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
sorry. Here, I think I just. Oh.
Go
Central.
back one.
Yeah, it took you back
I
to the
remember how to
beginning.
do it.
Tools.
Towards the
Yeah, favorite. And then you can I do a favorite.
Favorite.
And does watch mean you get an email when anybody changes something?
I think so, but she probably doesn't want to watch it at that level. She wants to watch it at her page.
Right, so then you can go into the funded projects workspace over on the left, and you should be able to find ours.
Yeah.
And it's under management, yeah.
Under here.
Yeah,
20, is it 2013? This one here.
Yeah, those two.
Well, there are two, though. So the one above it, the FY13 is the one we were just looking at.
Okay.
FY13, yes, and then the social ecological climate resilience one, I think is the one that we set up some time ago.
It is.
So
Okay, so this is the one I want.
I think that is the one you want.
I can put that underneath there now, like in short order.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea, and then we can sort of over time work at turning them into one. So there you are.
But you might see permissions, just write me.
Okay. So can I just bookmark exactly this as well?
Yeah.
Under tools, favorite, right
and
there?
You probably want to, and then watch that page too.
And watch it as well?
Yeah, right underneath.
A couple more.
What's that mean? Watch.
I think that means that you're going to get an email or a email notification when somebody has added to that page.
Oh, great. Okay, so then if I want to edit, right, and I want to add something, such as I want to upload the document. That was I don't know if it was a deliverable. It's the one that said we hadn't done it yet, the vulnerability assessment, right? So if I want to upload that.
You would scroll up to the top and then do add. Click on the add button.
Okay.
And hit attachment.
Gotcha.
It's not the way I do that, but.
Well, then how do you do it, Jeff?
I mean, there's more than one way to do it. That's adding a page, but I find it seems to be a little more intuitive to me. So there's two ways to edit. You can click the edit button you see right there, and that's going to open the whole page, and it takes a little bit longer to look. No, not that one, but
oops. Sorry, let me go back.
No.
Uh-oh.
That brings you back in the page, but that's okay. We can navigate through it. So there's the right after
this one.
There's that one that has the entire page, which takes a little bit longer to load, but does get the full page. And then any section, like where it's project membership or coordination, you can edit, but you won't be able to edit the project calendar. So if you want to, you can scroll down to those other products.
Right here. Yep.
That. And we could even do this if you want to. So now I'll give it to
you. Okay, so then I put in the information here. So description would be okay. What's this one?
Well, I don't know. Stacy set this up, so I don't know if she gave us any above thing.
I think that's just sort of like notes, like if you wanted to say this is an interim product or this is or
okay.
Or paper or abstract.
Or it says what.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, I guess we can revisit this a little bit too, and then this is where you'd be like type in. Just
okay. So this is where attach a PDF, right?
Just type like P attached or PDF. Just type whatever you want the hyperlink to be.
Okay. Or can I just attach it? I mean, I guess that's.
Just type in the name of what it's going to be. So just say attach.
Okay.
I mean, you could do it differently, but this would just at least you have one way to kind of see how it's done.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. What'd you say?
Just like just type the word attachment or.
Okay.
And now kind of just highlight over that word. And then go up to the link icon there.
Uh-huh.
You should be able to click that, and then go down, scroll down to attachments instead of search or recently viewed. And now choose the file, and then it should be, and maybe you have it somewhere. But you've navigated this location before, I think. And then you should be able to say, it might take a little bit.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of how the whole group sees it, you know, and you're not like, I mean, I think, you know, so much of the stuff we do is like, see the attached file, and you're emailing, you're like, where's that attachment? You know, forward it to you. And
Yeah, it'll be nice to have things in here. Nice.
now you should be able to insert at the bottom. I think that list of attachments, if you would have went the way that Leanne was talking about, you would have seen it there.
Right.
Because that file would have been attached to this page somehow, and then it's just an extra step maybe to then link it. So then, you know, you could write today's date and, or, you know, complete.
So it's, I just can't see it, but it's somewhere. Is that right?
When you click on the when you click on the hyperlink, you'll be able to.
Oh, up here?
Yeah. No, in the text of the page right there. Yeah. Once you save it, you'll be able.
Oh, okay. So I say save. Gotcha.
Yeah, save now, and now once you're in the page, you should be able to see it there.
There we go. Submitted.
Well,
Where's your hyperlink, though?
Huh.
that's not, that's weird.
Scroll up to the top, will you? Click. You'll see right next to the little lock. There's a little paper over to the left. There's a paper. Go down below Burkhart's name. Right there, that paper clip. Click on that.
Uh-huh. There it is. It's this one right here.
Yeah, click on that.
I wonder why it never happened.
I don't know why it didn't save that hyperlink.
Wasn't there.
Okay, it's a big file, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not huge, but it is. It is fairly large. Yes. There it is. Okay.
It is.
Okay.
So what you could do is grab that, copy that URL into your clipboard,
Okay.
and then
Go back.
to the page, and then
Fresh thing or something.
you'll see a breadcrumbs at the top. You'll see attachments, and then if just left to the attachments, you'll see the name of the project in the blue banner.
Up here.
Yeah,
Up
click
here.
on click on the Burkhart link. That'll take you back to the page. There you go. And
So go down.
Go down and do an edit of that section again. I wonder what. Okay, go back to the link or a file. Type in attachment again in the column link or file next to your VA.
Go up here.
Yeah,
Oh.
in the link or file column, type in
Okay.
the word attachment again. And then
Okay.
then up at the top, click on the link in the list of, yep, there you go. And then
Can we try
web
that?
link.
Try what?
On
this one?
Yeah.
Well, could we try it the other way? I wonder if it was
Yeah.
sort of how that word was selected. So the attachments are listed there, right? So just if you click attachment, no.
Click attachments up here.
No, if you go back to the Burkhart.
Here.
Yeah. and go back to edit. I'm just curious.
Down at the bottom, or
Yeah.
edit here.
Edit that, yes. So there's multiple things you can link here. You can link a file or you can link a URL. And that's why Leanne was having you cut that URL from the file, so that's where it is. And then, but here is, so if you go into the table under link or file, just type attachment.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it both ways, or the way that it has it. So just kind of go now to link, the icon up at the top. And it shows that, if you go to attachments on the left-hand side, it shows your file, right? So choose file. Or no, I'm sorry, I meant highlight that one so you can cancel out of this.
Thank you, Renee, for being our guinea pig here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, this is great. Okay, so here, it's highlighted.
Yeah, so down at the bottom say insert, and this has always worked for me.
Is it because she didn't highlight
there
the
it
word?
is.
Oh, there it is. She didn't highlight the word attachment, so it didn't know where to hyperlink it to.
Okay.
It just stuck it in there.
Yeah.
So now, if we look, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
Right, it's there.
Okay.
So can you go back to edit?
Back to edit.
I'm going to go to edit it and highlight that word attachment.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
the
pull
other
that
one.
What's that?
So just delete that. Hit delete.
Delete. Okay.
Now go into the word attachment. Can you highlight over that?
This one?
Yeah. And now hit the link button. And then
try. You want me to do choose file or?
No, that'll take you back,
Insert.
go down to insert. Because I think choose file takes you back into your file system.
so that it looks good here, and that's what it looked before, but somehow
And then
so
hit
try to
save.
and somehow that was
Cross your fingers. It didn't take very long, though.
Okay, shall we look?
Yay, it's there.
Yay!
there we go.
We're not sure how it works, but it works.
Wait, where do you see it?
See how attachments highlighted? I mean, it's like.
Oh, I see, and if I click on that,
It'll pull.
it goes, got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yay, that worked. Wow, I'm glad you walked me through that.
Yeah.
You'll be an expert soon.
Oh, I'm glad you have faith in me. I think I understand it though. I mean, I obviously there's a few different ways you can do it.
There are.
But I can guarantee you that some of the other folks that have some information that they should put up here will have some difficulties as well. So
And, I
we'll
kind of
work
think,
with.
yeah, I think that this is sort of the PIs listed at the top of the page are pretty good to kind of stick with as the main people to use this. I don't know how far and wide you want to have people using it. So.
What you might want to think about doing, Jeff, is you know how the attachment icon is the little paperclip icon is pretty hidden. You can add a plugin to your page to display all of the attachments, kind of like what you did in that one page where you display the recently updated.
Mm-hmm.
You can display all of your attachments and choose where to display it in the page. So then it might be easier for some folks so they don't have to do the hyperlink, that at least if they upload.
I'm gonna try another one now.
Wow.
You are brave.
I gotta go. Shannon's calling me 3 times now in the last.
Okay.
Talked to her a little bit after 3. So, but you guys can stay on. I think I'll stop recording. I think we've seen what we need to on. Maybe. I'll stop that and.